is they are now trying everything to somehow get the Americans back into Afghanistan. You know, the whole posturing right now is that they're blaming the Americans for this debacle, Pakistan and the Americans. And they are trying to somehow persuade the Americans to actually intervene. And there are listeners in the American political system who are listening to the Taliban and using these things that women are at risk and all those who supported the NATO troops, they are at risk. And somehow they want the Americans to again intervene. But this is, they've been there for 20 years. What will they do now which they didn't do in 20 years? So so this is the situation right now. You asked me a question about us being worried. We are worried because the direct impact of this descending into a prolonged civil war, this is what we think will happen. It will be a prolonged, protracted civil war. And the country that will be most affected after Afghanistan will be Pakistan. We will be affected, number one, that more Pashtuns are in Pakistan than in Afghanistan. Taliban is basically a Pashtun movement, so it will flow into our Pashtun areas. And, you know, it happened after 2003-04, it happened that our Pashtun areas reacted to what was happening in Afghanistan, and Pakistan lost 70,000 people in that because we supported the Americans. And so there's a likelihood that again in our Pashtun areas we will have problems. So that's number one. And then having lost 70,000 people and over $100 billion lost to the economy, half of our tribal area people were internally displaced. About 3 million people were internally displaced. So that's number one worry. Number two is refugees. We already have 3 million refugees in Pakistan, Afghan refugees. 3 million registered. We think there are over about 500,000 more than that. So last thing we want, our economy is just recovering. We do not want another inflow of refugees. And number three is that, you know, we have now great plans of our connectivity right into Central Asia through Afghanistan. I just went to Tashkent to work on this railway from Uzbekistan connecting through Afghanistan, through Mazar Sharif and into Pakistan, which would connect this whole area. So this is our future, you know, it's geoeconomics. And we are worried that if there is a civil war in Afghanistan, this whole economic agenda of connectivity with Central Asia goes out of the window. So that's our worry.
Sir, in case of the Taliban takeover of Kabul,